Think tallest tower wins? Wrong. This is a game of skyscraper armies. These are the places that field whole stacked fleets of high-rise block after block after block. From cool morning haze in Tokyo to blazing noon in Kuala Lumpur, we count from 5 and storm the crown. These are the undisputed champions of skyscraper construction. Let's set the rules. We're counting completed buildings at least 150 meters tall, real occupiable towers where people work, live, and visit every day. Observation masts and broadcast towers do not count. With that, we start at number 5. Number 5, Japan, 284 buildings. If you love precision, Japan's Skyline is your happy place. Tokyo's new flagship, Azabudai Hills Mori JP Tower, is officially the tallest building in the country. It rises like a polished obelisk from a lush urban campus, anchoring a district built around human scale, gardens, walkways, public art, and calm plazas tucked between seamless glass. That city within a city approach is very Japanese, every detail thought through, from earthquake engineering to the gentle way the podium meets the street. But here's a quick fact you might hear at parties and should gently correct. Tokyo Skytree is not a building. It is a broadcasting and observation tower, so it does not belong on a list of occupiable buildings. What Japan brings instead is refined architectural craft. Look closely at Tokyo, Osaka, and Yokohama, and you'll see a design language of restraint. Clean curtain walls, perfect joints, subtle lighting. These towers are not shouting, they are whispering confidence. 284 buildings over 150 meters is less than our next countries, but the bar for quality is sky high, and the city planning around them is some of the best on earth. Number 4, Malaysia, 327 buildings. Kuala Lumpur does not tiptoe onto this list. It arrives with drum rolls. If the skyline had a poster, it would be 2, the Petronas Towers. Those stainless steel twins, joined by a sky bridge, turn Malaysia into a global skyscraper destination. They are not just tall, they are symbolic, blending Islamic geometric patterns with contemporary engineering so gracefully that they still look fresh decades later. And now, Kuala Lumpur has a new headline, Merdeka 118. One glance and you know the city has entered the era of mega tall. The faceted profile catches morning sun like a crystal blade, and the crown is a beacon from miles away. Beyond the icons, Malaysia's count grows with residential and mixed-use towers that cluster around transit and shopping spines. What makes Malaysia fascinating is how the skyline describes a national story. Ambition tied to culture, high finance braided with public spaces, and a willingness to push for landmarks that become shorthand for the entire country. 327 buildings is serious vertical momentum. Number 3, United Arab Emirates, 345 buildings. If awe were a place, it would be Dubai at golden hour. Here, a single building, Burj Khalifa, redefined what is possible. From its soaring spire to the terraced setbacks that form a desert lily in plan, the world's tallest structure feels less constructed than carved from sunlight. But reduce the UAE to one giant spear of glass and you miss the point. The country has built an ecosystem of super talls, svelte hotel towers on the shoreline, residential needles along the marina, and experimental shapes that turn corners into Instagram views. There's a distinctive showmanship in the Emirates. Water features dance at the foot of skyscrapers, malls sit inside master plans like air-conditioned cities, and even the highways frame the skyline like a movie set. Architects come here to try ideas at full scale. Of course, that spectacle is backed by logistics and regulation that can deliver complicated projects on tight timelines. No small feat when every floor plate hangs hundreds of meters above the ground. 345 buildings in a country this young? That's not just growth, it's a declaration. Before we head to the top 2, a quick breather. If you're enjoying this climb through the world's skylines, kindly like and subscribe. It helps more city lovers find the channel and keeps us exploring the built world every week. Number 2, United States, 927 buildings. The modern skyscraper's birthplace still knows how to rise. The United States built the first vertical boom with steel frames and elevators, and that DNA still shows from Chicago's riverfront to Midtown Manhattan. Today's crown, One World Trade Center in New York, is as much memorial as tower, 1,776 feet of deliberate symbolism and quiet strength. Its glass panels catch shifting weather like a mirror of the harbor. Its base is a fortress of polished stone. Its spire reclaims a skyline scar with dignity. But America's story is bigger than one address. Miami glitters with residential towers, creating a waterfront wall of blue-green glass. San Francisco threads its tall buildings between hills and bay winds. Chicago keeps flexing, mixing heritage with new exclamation points along Lake Michigan. Even smaller cities, from Austin to Seattle, are stacking new height, often around transit and tech hubs. 927 buildings over 150 meters is the output of a vast, diversified economy where different cities compete not just for tenants, but for identity. And as zoning evolves to favor density near transit, the next wave is already queued. Number 1, China, 3,570 buildings. There is no contest. China has transformed entire skylines at a speed and scale the world has never seen. In megacities like Shanghai and Shenzhen, skyscrapers are not outliers. They are the standard language of urban life. The icons are familiar. Shanghai Tower swirling like a glass ribbon into the clouds. Ping An Finance Center composing power with a razor-clean crystalline silhouette. But the real story is how deep the bench runs. Dozens upon dozens of provincial capitals now host complete vertical districts, office, residential, hotel, mall, transit node, stacked and stitched into master plans the size of small countries. What makes China's skyline unique is orchestration. These are not random spikes. They are synchronized with subways, ring roads, and green belts. You see tower clusters that step their height to carve view corridors, podiums that hide bus stations and retail, and public terraces that pull people upward into the development. Developers compete on facades, folded glass, bronze fins, shimmering screens, and the engineering behind the scenes is night and day better than a generation ago. Tuned mass dampers, mega braces, high-strength concrete, smart facades that sip energy. 3,570 buildings above 150 meters is a statistic. Standing on a Shanghai river walk at dusk is the feeling behind it. What these rankings really tell us. On paper, this is a scoreboard. In real life, it is a map of urban strategy. Japan says quality and safety first, threading tall buildings into neighborhoods built for walking. Malaysia says icons matter, using landmarks to anchor a global identity while expanding the ecosystem around them. The United Arab Emirates says turn the wow factor into an economy, translating spectacle into tourism, hospitality, and retail. The United States says diversify, letting different cities pioneer different models, from tech-driven residential booms to resilient office districts. China says scale with intention, building entire city pieces at once so that transit, public space, and towers launch together. And a quick reminder for the trivia debates. Broadcast towers, like Tokyo Skytree, do not count here. We are counting buildings where people work, live, shop, and visit. That detail matters because it ties height to everyday life, not just skyline photos. Why height still matters. Height is not just a number, it is a tool. A tall building can reduce sprawl by stacking homes and offices on a tiny footprint. It can support transit by supplying thousands of riders within a short walk. It can frame public space, giving a city a recognizable silhouette that residents feel proud of. Done badly, tall buildings cast long shadows and create wind tunnels. Done well, they bring light to plazas, cafes to podiums, and life to the hours after sunset. The countries on this list are learning those lessons in different ways, and often faster than our textbooks can keep up. The human scale in a mega-tall world. Even in the land of super talls, the magic happens where towers meet the street. Japan leads here, with podium gardens and pocket parks that invite you to sit down, not just pass through. The United States is rediscovering ground floor warmth. Think food halls at the base of office towers, or residential lobbies that feel like living rooms spilling onto sidewalks. In Malaysia and the UAE, mall culture means the podium can be an indoor city, a social condenser in hot climates. And in China, you see elevated walkways and terraces that stack public space up the building like vertical neighborhoods. The skyline may grab your eye, but the ground is where you decide whether to stay. What's next? Expect smarter facades that change with sun and season, timber hybrid towers that lock away carbon, and towers designed as mini power plants with solar fins and wind-catching crowns. Expect more mixed use. Homes above offices, above a school, above a garden, above a transit hub. And expect the conversation to shift from how high to how well a building cuts energy use, how well it frames a street, how well it earns a place in the mental map of the city. So, who wins the Skyline decade? By the numbers, China is far in front. By narrative, each country wins its own category. Japan wins for craft and comfort. Malaysia wins for sheer icon power. The UAE wins for spectacle that fuels an economy. The United States wins for diversity and reinvention. China wins for orchestration at epic scale. Together, they show how height can be more than bragging rights. It can be the backbone of a better city. Now it's your turn. Which skyline tells the strongest story? Japan's quiet precision, Malaysia's iconography, the UAE's theater, America's reinvention, or China's symphony of scale? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us why. If this tour up the world's tallest cityscapes gave you fresh eyes for the places we live, kindly like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more deep dives into the buildings that shape our lives.